Ah.
Hey guys, what is happening? Welcome to the original Next Level Gaming Podcast. We're so sorry for the delay today, guys. No Jason tonight and had to kind of reconfigure the whole damn thing, and then it crashed on me. So much
Frowny
apologies.
face.
Yes, frowny faces for all. I'm gonna turn this light down a little bit because it looks like a glare in the background, and rather than this look like a J.J. Abrams movie. Turn the light down a little bit. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Mike is holy.
Good.
Yeah. So now the light of my tablet shining in here. So yeah. Anyway, all right. We look like we are good to go. So again, this is I love our format. Would not want to change our format for the life of me. We look really good doing this, but man, there are some disadvantages to this when people are flying around and canceling and stuff like that. So, hi guys.
Hey.
Howdy.
Hey.
Greggy.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Is that guy real?
Yes, and he's not even, and he's in his new digs.
Hmm?
Yeah, how's the house? How's the new place?
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of it so far.
Really? Now, is it a house or an apartment?
It's an apartment.
Okay.
Another apartment. But like, I haven't figured out the podcasting spot yet because we have one spot in here to plug the modem in, and it's in a really stupid spot. So wireless is out of the question. Found that out night one when I was getting like 980 kilobytes per second on my Xbox when I was downloading a bunch of stuff. So. Yeah, it's been still a lot of experimenting. Still, I had to put a lamp out here because if I turn the light on, it's too bright. So I don't know. I gotta figure something out. But work in progress.
I'll tell you what. I mean, with the exception of the fact that we don't get to see your beautiful Battleborn poster, it actually doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all right. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's dated. That's my biggest
Needs more
problem.
Battleborn.
It's really dated.
Does need more Battleborn.
Thought about like back there, but I don't feel like hanging anything up. So.
But you're on though, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to be back. It's been
It's
like
good to have
a
you
month
back.
now.
It has been. So it's good to have you back, brother. It really is.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
So,
I missed you guys.
We
Actually,
missed you.
We did miss you guys.
We have missed you too, man. And we know you've been in the chat room, but man, there's been a couple conversations we really could have used you on. So
I know.
that's all right. So, but we're good tonight because we got some great stuff to talk about, good and bad. But we got some great topics tonight. We're gonna try to fly through. And Peter, what's going on, man?
Oh man, it's been delving into VR, PSVR.
Yes,
it's
we're gonna
awesome.
talk about that.
So yeah, we'll talk about it. It's definitely a awesome experience.
Fantastic.
So, but the rest pretty good. My AC seems to be acting out, so I have to get it checked out tomorrow.
All
So.
right. Cool. Juan, how you doing, man?
So if you see me sweat, that's what it is.
All right, no problem. I know that feeling. Come on, Juan, smile.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool.
My wife, my wife sings it like that too. She leaves out. She does it, and now she's doing it on purpose.
I've never seen it.
It's great. It's actually, you know what? Honestly, it's not a bad Lego movie. It really isn't.
No.
I enjoyed it. Lego
I just know
Batman,
those
not
words.
so much. I watched it with my son earlier in the week. Not so much, but Lego Movie was good. So.
No, I mean, basically, I'm working too much overtime. I'm working the next 6 to 8 days. It's hot because my main AC is down. I only have the bedroom AC upstairs. I have a cough that's coming on, which is not cool. And I'm a little miffed about some gaming stuff right now. And I just actually had to say to somebody, right, because one of us has multiple sources of information confirming this information, and one of us is you.
I'm lost.
No,
It's okay.
yeah, trust me, being lost is okay.
We don't need to go deep with it, but
No, not really.
I'm back in the avalanche. The avalanche is back again. It's just I'm bathing in the avalanche of stupidity again. I just have to get rid of Twitter, I guess.
Or just breathe. We like Happy Juan is what we like.
I don't. I'm suspicious of Happy Juan.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's because you like chaos. That was like the other day when I'm talking on Twitter, and I come and you're like, "Why don't you get mad, Mike?" And I'm like, "Because I'm just having a conversation." You said, "Well, that's not what you do on Twitter."
Right, that's not Twitter.
Yeah, who does that on Twitter?
That's where you say, "God damn, what's wrong with you?"
Well,
So-
what's funny is I came back later on and said, "You know what? You're right, Frankie," because people went nuts. So. Go ahead, Juan. I got a great. This is wonderful. I got to tell this story. Go ahead. Finish yours first.
I mean, the other thing is, I'm up all hours of the night last night because my work is early. I got this cough. I didn't sleep for crap, and I stayed up late to watch the Crackdown thing. And I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
We will. I know. We will. We will.
Really?
We will.
excellent.
So yeah, And work was kind of meh today, and the whole time I'm at work, I pass time by being on Twitter, and it's just an avalanche of stupid, just like talking to a bunch of mental patients, and they're all exactly the same. I don't want to name names or anything, but
Let's not do
God
that.
bless it.
Breathe in.
Like-
Through the nose, out the mouth.
Like it makes you want to just nuke the planet and leave it for the cockroaches. There's no hope for the human race. These are the people that are following us. They're all younger.
Speaking of Fallout 4, what's up, Nathan?
Yeah.
I see and only because I see the thing in the background, the refrigerator.
That's Call of Duty.
Is that Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see it. I thought it was the Nuka-Cola. Because he's got that, too.
Isn't it? It is Nuka-Cola, though, isn't it?
Nuka-Cola is Fallout.
Yes, Nuka-Cola.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Well, what's this one?
The Juggernaut. You're right.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's why
my
it goes
fault.
the zombies when you open it.
Oh.
Sorry, I had my Nathan refrigerators wrong. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So,
I just keep it cool.
how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
And I
How's
got
the-
a Frankie
how's
over
the
here now.
basement.
so actually, getting there. Hold on.
Getting a little tour.
Is, I don't know if you can. Damn, let's see shit. All right, so
I don't like it. It looks too good. I'm out.
Yeah, take my word.
Ooh, wow.
It's actually not bad. So I'm halfway done. If you look, I will say this: if you look down at this tile, it is about that color tile, just a slightly different texture, and it's already like I showed pictures. I showed pictures on Twitter already of
You
the
did.
entertainment center with the TV and the game
And
console
the Dreamcast.
and the Dreamcast. How did you blow that picture up to get it so clear? That was excellent work.
I just zoomed in.
That was excellent
Apparently, you take
work.
really good quality pictures. So
Well, I do have an Android, and so I got it. I got back halfway to the room. So I've got probably about 45 more tiles to put down, and then I will be done. And it's going to be beautiful. So I'm really happy with it,
Nice.
and it's been a reason to get rid of the stupid carpet anyway. So, which leads me to my fun of the week. So, Juan, you are not the only one who had to bathe in stupidity yesterday, although it was just one person, just one. So I'm talking to my good
The
friend
lonely number.
Worrywart, and I'm showing my pictures of my entertainment center sitting on my new flooring, and Worry, in his very joking manner, because him and I joke like this, he said, I see your PS4, I don't see your Xbox One. Where's your Xbox One? So the picture I took, the Xbox One sits on top of, I have two book rack, rack bookcase type things. and they're entertainment centers, but they're real thin. Well, the Xbox One sits on top of the one on the right. Well, the picture I took just didn't have it in frame. So I said to him, well, I hate Xbox now, so I sold it, got rid of it, and I'm going to change my Twitter handle to reflect it. And so we were laughing until some yokel he follows me, he likes the tweet, and he says, I hate Xbox. Wow. And then blocks me. I'm like, I'm like, really? So then I posted the picture with the Xbox One, which then of course brought the team sticker, team no sticker war back into the frame. I'd much rather fight that than the ridiculous console war bullshit. I swear to God. It just, of everything else that was going on that week, just that one was just, I'm like, really? I don't even know you, and this is where you go. So anyway, that's my fun of the week. All right.
It was poor.
Yeah, it was. Okay,
so when are you gonna change your name to Mike Mullisoni? I like that one.
I know, that was good. Yeah, I don't know how you Sony NLG. I could do it.
There you go.
Anyway, all right. So, chat room.
I'd like to make another observation about the last 2 days.
Please do.
And I tweeted this, but I would say, gamers. Oh my God, I'm so concerned about Crackdown. I can't tell what it looks like because there's all these different pictures, and I just don't know, and I'm kind of worried about it. Everybody shouldn't be worried about Crackdown. Are there development problems or anything like that? It's been 4 years, and we haven't really seen the MP yet, and I'm very concerned. I'm very, very worried about Crackdown. Also, gamers. I'm not at all worried about Shenmue 3 or Final Fantasy Remake. I don't need to know anything about that. There's no problems there.
Well, all right. I'll tell you what. I was going to start on a happier note, but
happy place.
Yeah, we're gonna temporarily
gonna scrap that.
Yeah, we're
no,
go right to hell. Let's just go right to hell. All right, let's
talk about Doom already,
because I think this needs to be talked about. So, okay. First off, the development can't be in trouble. It's coming out in November. There's an actual date for the game. So I don't think that they're going. I would put it this way: if between now and Gamescom, Phil cancels Crackdown 3, then I think all-out panic is warranted. I think we could then say, okay, Microsoft has some real shitty problems going on. I'm not there yet.
I'd agree with that.
I would also say, and I said this on Twitter, even because I've been in those conversations today too, because I have some thoughts about Crackdown that I want to, we'll all get into, and I want everybody's opinion on this to be heard. David Jones is heading the team. Okay. Now Frankie reminded me that yes, Ruffian is doing the multiplayer part. I don't care about the multiplayer part, thank God.
That's the part that he's working on too, though.
Well, he's
David
overseeing
Jones' team is working on the multiplayer,
right? But I think David Jones is overseeing the whole thing as well, because Sumo Digital is working on the campaign, but I think he's the head of the development of the whole thing. With he don't call it Cloud Engine anymore. I forgot what the name of his company now is, but he calls it something else.
I think it's Reagent.
Reagent, thank you. Which of course is because of. I'm pointing towards the picture, Crackdown.
Right.
So it's. Thank you. You have to point in your upper left.
Oh, that's right. It's that way.
Nope, other one. There you go.
That way. Got it.
So
it's been a while.
So he's heading it up, and Sumo's doing the campaign. So I'm not worried about it just yet. But I don't want to discount what we have seen because, look, as Juan pointed out, last night was bad. It was bad.
No bueno.
And look, this isn't just, part of what I'm looking at, I have my own opinions about the game, but also I'm looking at what other people are saying online, and there are legitimate fans of the game who are now getting a little bit concerned because, well, we're 4 months out. What are we looking at? Personally, my thought is that San Diego Comic-Con is not a game show. So what we're seeing here is Microsoft basically saying, well, we're going to be at Gamescom. We want to show Terry Crews off. We're going to do a panel with that. Let's just take the E3 build, throw it into a van, and take it to Comic-Con, and anybody who wants to mess with it can mess with it. But the problem is the people that were messing with it were people who don't normally play video games. Yeah. So they sucked.
And I mean, it's fine if that's behind closed doors, you know?
Right. I mean, and then they decided to show it. Hey, let's show average comic book readers and people who are there for the Infinity War and DC Universe fight. Let's show that. Let's show them the game and let them play. So, I mean, yeah. Now, the opposite to that, and then I'll let you guys in. The opposite to that is, and I was talking to Rand today, and he made a very good point that I kind of thought about. You know, this point I'm expanding on. In this day and age of digital media and social media and, you know, Twitter and Skype and Mixer and Twitch, you got to be sharp all the time. You know, it's not like you go to Comic-Con and then you read about it in a magazine the next month about what they showed. Now they're showing stuff in real time, and I think what people were concerned about were, well, it's the same exact build with the same exact bugs and physics issues that they had at E3, and hey, we're 4 months away. Why are we, you know, where are we going to see, you know, what we want to see as close to finished product? So with that, my final piece on this is, folks, let's wait till Comic-Con. Not Comic-Con, let's wait till Gamescom.
When's Gamescom again?
Couple
August,
weeks.
like 20 something.
It's like 4 weeks away.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If we get if we get to Gamescom and we're not shown anything farther along, obviously I think we're going to see the multiplayer, but I'm assuming we're going to see a little more in the campaign too. If they show the same thing as E3 at Gamescom, then I'm all for people being freaked out. I'm just not. I understand the concern and I get it. And
well, the real concern.
The real concern. Yeah. But I get the fact that you know, people are looking for more, and you know, it wasn't a good showing, and the game doesn't look as sharp as it should, and compounded by the fact that people are playing it that don't know how to play it. Okay.
Weren't even interested in playing it. Was even worse. Right. I mean, it'd be one thing if they didn't know, but they were involved in it and wanted to know about it, and or at least acted like they're actors for F's sake, right?
Wasn't one of them?
Well, yeah, but the other thing is like, you know, they were kind of getting interviewed, so they have to think about what they're gonna say, and they have to play at the same time. And if, you know, granted, if they would be better in playing video games, then it might have helped out a little bit, but still, yeah. I mean, it was like a perfect storm.
I felt bad for Larry. I like Larry. I think Larry does a good job what he does, but he just got sent up the river without a paddle on that one.
I think he should have just grabbed the controller and saying, "Here, let me show you what this is all about."
He did for one of them.
I think he had, because I think he had to, because that person. I think that person did not know what they were doing at all.
Yeah.
3 hours later, we're still in the same place.
So, yeah.
I'm afraid to jump down. How do you jump?
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces of the video. I didn't have time to go through the whole 9 yards.
I think if they didn't show it on Mixer, I don't think we'd have the eruption of disappointment that we had today. I think that's a lot to do with it. Is that you know, they were showing and people, you know, and of course when you're showing the game and people can't play the game, and then all of a sudden you don't understand what you're looking at. I get it. You know, come back to me at Gamescom. If we haven't seen any further improvement, I think I'm in on that. I'm in on that concern. But I'm not. I just have enough at the moment. I still have enough confidence in the development studios to know that's not the final product. But now we need to see something. But we do need to see something farther ahead, farther along at Gamescom. I think to me, I think there's no doubt about that. We have to.
Absolutely.
Frankie?
Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
Multiplayer, single player campaign, the whole 9 yards.
I mean, I'm personally not worried about the game at all. Maybe it's just me, but I think, going off an old build, obviously you publicly have shown some of these problems. By now they're probably fixed. I mean, I'm curious to see the multiplayer in action, but also I was still hoping that they're going to roll out a closed beta or something for it, which I'm still kind of hoping they announce at Gamescom. But I mean, I'm not personally worried about Crackdown 3. I think the game looks good for what it is, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I like the art style personally, but I don't know. It's looking like what I was expecting it to be, so I'm not worried about it.
Well,
I'm not worried. I'm a little disappointed that they would choose to do what they did with it. They're just not putting it in a good light. They're not putting their best foot forward. It's a little bumbly and a little bit weird. Like, in addition to the players not being good at it or interested in it, or obnoxious or whatever, you could tell. I mean, like the GIF going around of the cars with the physics, and all the cars are stacked up and humping each other.
Yeah,
it's like, and I don't hate Alan Tudyk from all the different things that he's in, like Firefly and such, but he doesn't even have the common sense to be like, oh well, let me steer over here away from this thing, that is. Like, they should have briefed these guys that the purpose of this is it's PR. It's to make the game look good. But instead, they let these guys run wild and make it look bad and make it seem not interesting because they're not interested in it. And then he's like, "Oh, look at these cars! They're humping each other." And he's just, let's just stare at the glitch for a while. Let's make this as bad as we can possibly make it. Derp, derp, derp. And it's just so frustrating when you just want to put a good foot forward.
I'm thinking,
but I hope the story, the campaign is good because it kind of looks a little lackluster. Maybe it was due to the way it was played.
Well,
but it was like it looked very boring. It's like,
Crackdown isn't it's not a story-driven game. I mean, there was.
But you have your objectives and stuff.
But objectives is not necessarily the same as a story-based game. It's not like Well,
I mean, it's
I'm with you.
You have to use your imagination, perhaps.
But Crackdown 1 really didn't have a story. You just became an agent, ran around, and knocked out all the gangs.
Right. But that was kind of the story that you have to do that. I don't know.
Right.
Isn't that kind of how this one is too?
Say again?
Isn't that kind of what this one is too? Except instead of having like cutscenes, it's more wherever you kind of are in that territory, it'll trigger like some in-game dialogue or something.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing with this one.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. No, I fully expect it to play like Crackdown. Everything I've seen in the gameplay looks like fun Crackdown gameplay, and we haven't. We're still looking at, I think, a several months old build, and we're doing it on YouTube, and we're doing it on Mixer, on 1080 TVs, and I mean, it's just we haven't seen what it has to offer yet.
Yeah, and like I said, I think if we have,
but it's kind of
Go ahead, Peter.
No, I mean they should not have shown it. They should not have put it on Mixer.
That I agree. I think that was a mistake. I think that was that they should have just let people come and play it. You can see because what would happen is those people. I'm sure the people who were playing it, then got out and because they're helping. They're helping out. They're saying. On Twitter, they're probably going, "Hey man, Crackdown's so cool." And if it was just that could get people excited because then people are watching the celebrities, play the game and then tweet, "Hey, this is really cool." And then without you seeing it, oh, okay, so these guys really like it. Maybe it's got something. And the other thing, too, was, the whole idea of getting to to Comic-Con with this is to have a panel with Terry Crews. That was really the idea behind it. And then they had to have something, so they just, like I said, they just brought the E3 build because that's what they had. I doubt very seriously that they had time to make a new build between E3 and Comic-Con. We're talking about a month. When they should be working on the game rather than taking time to make a vertical slice. That next vertical slice should be Gamescom. So, until then, I'm still confident that it will be what I want it to be. So, how about you, Nathan?
I never really played any other one because I didn't get a 360 until like the end of the cycle. So this would be my first Crackdown.
Because you were a young kid. That's why.
So the first one was free with Games with Gold, right?
Was it?
Maybe.
No.
I don't think so.
I think number 2 was. I think it was number 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so I only have played number 2?
I think it was number 2.
Then I didn't think 2 was that bad then.
Oh,
I'm in the minority.
Oh my God! See, that's what
you have no frame of reference
from
the first one. That's why.
Yeah. Dang.
That means they can only get better for you from here. That's good, right?
I know.
Yeah. Crackdown 1. There are some parts of Crackdown 1 that when you see the whole thing about Crackdown 2 and its gameplay isn't even so much the shooty bang bang part of just shooting things. It's gaining the abilities and then getting that achievement for jumping off the top of the agent tower, which is 5 million feet in the air, and there's just when you start jumping from building to building, and doing things and climbing, and there's so many different mechanics in the game, and then the orb hunting. There's so many different mechanics in the game that you can really play it the way you want, and that's what the allure was. 2 was just not as fun.
I think it was the first one. It was the 4th game in the Games with Gold, August 1st, 2013.
And but it's not backward compatible. But that's before backward compatibility. So
correct. Yeah,
so
I played it on the 360. That's correct.
So
yeah.
Yeah. Warren Ward says Crackdown 2 is like looking at the trap at Ghostbusters. You don't look at the trap, Ray. Fantastic. So, all right. Well, hopefully they'll make. Sorry. Oh man, Rory, it's good to have you in the chat tonight, brother. It's actually good to have everybody in the chat. I'm sorry I did not get a chance to say hello to everybody. Annihilator, we did start without you, although it was 20 minutes late, so it wasn't terribly.
We did try to wait for you.
We tried to wait for you, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
So and
not on purpose, but
Jeff and Roman Slave and all of our other Big Blue Ravens and our friends
Crazy Bunny and so.
Crazy Bunny and Fastback.
Super Cooper, Fastback.
Is Super in there? I didn't see Soup.
Yeah,
he just said laughs out loud.
Okay, Anchor came in for a second, but he's going to come back after Game of Thrones. Hey, you guys know of this great invention called the DVR, right? Everybody seems to have one.
If you're using your friend's HBO Go account, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Watch Game of Thrones later, guys. It's okay. All right, so that's the scoop on Crackdown 3. I think we said our piece on it. Anybody else have anything else before we move on? Oh, I did want to show this very, very quickly because this was one thing that did come out of Comic-Con. Hold on. So, where is it? There it is. Let's see. This should play well. Or not.
This is how you break everything again.
This is just how I break everything. So you know what? What the hell? All right. Never mind.
I think it's blue.
They revealed a very quick reveal trailer for Commander Jackson, which is the Terry Crews character It was like it literally was like a 10-second video. You can see it on YouTube. Okay. So back to what we really want to talk about.
That Commander Jackson thing.
Yes.
The hate that's out there, the people who are actually working hard to push bad story or bad feeling about Crackdown is so strong that you have people taking that GIF of the breakdown of that character and freeze framing it at like the second lowest level and putting it up as, you know, comparison to PR shot what the game actually looks like and trying to pass it off as what the game is like. I know,
it's the same thing some of the crazy people did with that one frame of what's his face's face in Quantum Break. That's you know, this is what happens when kids are on the internet. All right, let's get to more happy fun things. HTK purchased himself the PlayStation VR kit. Thanks to
the whole
thanks to
bundle,
that sale.
Thanks
to that sale.
Yeah, it was a sale on eBay from a reputable company. So it was 25% off for the whole thing. So I've never tried it, you know, at the store or anything or any other VR. But as a kid, I've always looked at it like VR. Oh, that looks so cool. And then, you know, you've seen some gameplay and I was like, I don't know. And but always wanted to try, and what's better than to try it at home. So, you know, I knew like with PSVR, there might be some screen door effect. So, you know, I went in with like, you know, my expectations were probably in check. So I got the bundle and got it all hooked up after like 20 million wires that you have to plug in. But it wasn't too bad in the end. And I must say the first thing that it popped in was the PlayStation VR World. And so that was my very first VR experience. And, you know, you pop the disc in there and the first thing you see is like, you know, the marble floor in the room where the 4 or 5 games are basically pictured all the way around you. So you look around and that was like so freaking cool. It was like, that was super awesome. So the first thing I did was I did the ocean descent to encounter the sharks and maybe Michael Phelps too. So you can see that right now here on the video.
Live feed.
Yeah. So that was like so awesome. It's you know, what I like about the VR experience, like we've seen like 3D. I've seen like 3D TVs, and it looks like, you know, looking through. I don't know if you ever did that. Like you have a shoebox and you cut out like, you know, cardboard things out of magazines and you stack them all in there. You know, you can look kind of around objects. It looks 3D, but it's kind of like, you know, things really in front of each other. And then with the VR, it's like, you know, you can look around objects. You look all the way around you, and that's like super, super, super cool. So it was like I like snorkeling and see the tropical fish and stuff. So it really, that was a really cool experience. And then the second thing I did was on the same disc, there's also Danger Ball, which is kind of a modern day, almost like a Pong kind of thing. And you use your headset to return the ball and you can give it spin. That's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. Then there was also VR luge. So you lay on your luge and you have to tilt your head in order to steer your luge down the road, and there's traffic. And
there we go.
There we go. Yeah. So that was funny. It's, you know, I had a couple of accidents and.
You know, it kind of takes me back to a PlayStation game that I loved. You guys remember it?
No.
PS1.
I never had a PS1. So.
Anybody remember the what was it, the ESPN Extreme
sports
game with the street luge and the BMX and everything? It was all like full motion video type graphics, like Pit Fighter. It was amazing.
I remember that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was pretty cool. So after this game, I did the London Heist. There's a picture of the London Heist. It was so cool to see, you know, people in your living room, kind of, you know, and they're like, they look pretty real, and it's like kind of cool that these guys run around you, and then one guy has like a torch and other stuff. So it's like a really awesome kind of interactive movie. And then you have a shootout and a chase and motorcycles and cars, and you can shoot them, and it's awesome. It's really really cool. Kind of wish that experience lasted longer. I wish it was like I don't know, a couple of hours of this game, because it's really neat.
I was waiting for you to accidentally shoot your driver in the head.
Yeah, I thought about it.
He's a dick.
Yeah. And in the end, you have to make a choice of shooting 2 people, and I shot the guy in a suit.
All right.
So I want to replay this again and shoot the other guy.
Shoot the other
guy. without giving any spoilers, but yeah, see what the reaction is. But yeah, that was really cool. And then the second or the last game on this disc was Scavenger Odyssey. So you kind of control like a space rover kind of thing, and you can kind of jump between rocks and stuff, and you have to shoot some stuff. That game was a little rougher in the sense of like, I wasn't really motion sick, but after a while I had enough of this game. So, and at that point I played, I don't know, hour and a half, I think. How long was my video?
Yeah, it was a long
hour and a half. So I thought like, okay, that's probably enough of the doctor recommends.
Just but, right.
Yeah.
Come out blind.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. I mean, the quality was kind of in line with what I expected. There's some screen door effect going on, and the games are not as crisp as you are used to by watching just a regular TV. But just the overall experience, it's fantastic. Just being able to look around in all directions, up and down, and that's just great.
Yeah, definitely. I think the VR could definitely be a game-changing thing, and I would definitely say that Sony has kind of had the most successful early foray into it in average households.
Right.
The price alone has a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm. But not only that, everything I'm hearing about the actual headset itself is that it's ergonomically better designed, more comfortable feeling than the other ones.
Yeah, I don't have a comparison, but the headset is definitely comfortable, and also with glasses, there are no issues. At least with the glasses that I'm currently wearing. Yeah, the glasses that I'm wearing, I don't have any issues. It fits well. I never had an issue that my headset was moving or sliding and slipping, so that's good. So good. So the other game that I did was Drive Club. I mean, it's so cool to see, those cars, although they look kind of on the small side, even for a regular Renault Macan or however you pronounce it, they look a little bit like a small thing. And I had an issue like when I sat in the car that that I felt like an old guy or an old lady, and I could barely look over the steering wheel. And then I figured out there was you can press some buttons to actually make the steering go lower, so I could actually see over the car. And driving itself was pretty good. Once you do get into crashes, that's when you feel that you're like, VR has some limitations in the sense of like, you crash and you stop dead track, and according to your mind, you should have felt some impact. That's not there. So
I can see how that would be jarring.
It can be jarring, so just be a better driver and don't crash. That's the solution. Get good.
Get good.
But it was definitely a very, very cool experience. Because now that's one thing that I miss with Forza. Like when you want to look into the corners when you steer into a corner, and looking at your mirrors, and with this VR, it's you can actually do that. So it was definitely an extremely cool experience.
Nice. And then you also got Super Hot, but you weren't super hot on that.
Oh yeah, Super Hot. I played it yesterday. I played it while sitting down, and that might explain part of my frustrations, because I wasn't able to pick up like certain guns and certain things I could not reach. And I mean, mostly fine. But then, you know, when you have some shots where, I mean, also that game, the game doesn't, there's no progress in the game. The game doesn't move if you don't move. So if you just stand still, then there's nothing happening. So you kind of have to, you know, move your hands, and then stuff is actually happening. And I think that throws me off with certain bullets. Like you duck behind the bullets, like, okay, you know, you expect the bullet to be over your head, and you get back up, and you still get hit in the head. So at a certain point, like I got frustrated because I couldn't grab certain weapons, and so that was it for me for that day. But the other game that I played was Eve Valkyrie. Oh my goodness, that's a really good game.
Seems like that'd be the showpiece.
It's a showpiece. It's very smooth. So it's like you know, you choose between 3 types of spaceships kind of things, and they have like different weapons and weapon tracking. You use you know, one of them you use your head to lock onto spaceships, and then you use your controller to actually fire. And the cool thing about the game is you can play with other headset manufacturers, so Oculus Rift and I think the Vive as well. And there was one game, all of a sudden Super Cooper was in my game. That was so freaking awesome. So we were both like, you know, on the same team, shooting the opponents. I think there were still AI controls, so, but I was having a blast. Really good game. Really enjoyed that, and definitely want to play some more. So far, it's you know, my VR or PSVR experience is 2 thumbs up. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but just the experience itself is priceless.
Sweet.
Definitely recommend. You know, if you have a chance to check it out, I would definitely check it out. I don't know how well, you know, how well you can experience it in the store, because it's, you know, I'd rather sit at home and take my time to, you know, look around and do my thing than be on the clock at the store saying like, hey, time's up.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Or you get those crappy people who like poke you or something while you're in the middle of something.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, nice all by myself. Nobody would bother me. Fantastic.
Awesome.
So, I mean, I seriously hope that, you know, Xbox, especially on the Xbox X, that we get like Oculus Rift or Vive support in games. It's just awesome for people to experience.
Yeah, I would kill for Elite Dangerous in VR. I would actually take someone's life for that.
Right.
Probably Nate's. No, I'm just kidding. No, not at all. A Rags fan. But anyway, No, I think Sony definitely is leading the way in that space with VR right now, especially in the console space, obviously, because MS isn't doing it. They have the Windows. There is an inexpensive Windows headset coming out, but I don't think they're doing much with that because I don't think it'll compare well.
Yeah, I think if I remember what you're talking about, I think it's more for, you know, like 3D object modeling or an object that you hold in your hand. Right. You look at it, so it's not really for, you know, gaming per se. Maybe you can do some games, I don't know. But I wouldn't mind, you know, getting an Oculus Rift bundle that's on sale and plug it into your Xbox. Or
right.
That would be kind of cool if they would support something like that.
You can hope. There's time.
There's time.
Is Elite Dangerous on PSVR? I know it's on VR on the PC, but the investment there.
I don't know. Maybe Frankie knows.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have they talked about it?
I don't think so. Really sure they haven't.
It'd be a fairly demanding VR game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super Cooper says Elite Dangerous is in VR, and that's on the PC, right? Super
has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it is there.
Okay.
One of my man who used to be over with Games Revolt, Johnny, played it on VR. So it's pretty incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't see traditional gaming to go away and being replaced by VR, but just VR as another experience. That's fantastic. Yeah,
that's what matters.
And maybe in the far future, who knows? You know, when the quality is like super high and looking through a headset is the same as like looking at a 4K TV or maybe at that point an 8K TV. The hardware can support it. So
nice.
The thing I was going to mention was when I was playing I Expect You to Die, I noticed, because I also had problems, like, because there's things in that game you need to like reach down and pick up and stuff. I know you have like a gravity grab, but sometimes you just want to reach down on the floor and pick something up. But I ended up like moving, like I think I moved the camera further away or something, so that I have like more area to work with. So I don't know if that'll help you with super hot or not. But
yeah, probably, because I was sitting down and with like I don't know, like max of 5 feet. So who knows? Yeah. Maybe my table is kind of blocking too. I don't know. So far I've played every game like sitting down, but maybe this one is the one where I have to stand up and get active. Yeah.
Maybe. I know.
So
John said
I'll definitely give it another try. And it's not that they ask for a digital return, even though
Jen played through Batman, and she was saying that one was actually better standing up.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Some of them are actually probably better standing up because you're kind of like looking around and moving stuff around that wouldn't make sense to be sitting down for. So.
Right. Yeah. True. So I definitely played it some more and get some feedback. I also got Resident Evil 7. I have not tried that yet.
Yeah, that I've also heard is very good on VR.
Yes. So
JT over at Super Deformed, I think it was very very impressed with that.
Yeah, so can't wait to try that out, but I definitely want to have some good time to get my hands on that one and go through.
I'll have 911 on standby.
Yeah, because I hear that's a heart stopper if you have heart problems. Not the best game to play on VR.
Yeah. So if all of a sudden you don't see me on the show anymore,
right?
Something might have happened.
But of course, that means it is the best game to play on VR, right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Cool. So yeah, we will. So if anybody wants to see the full video of that, what we were showing of HTK playing, it is on the channel and it is in 60 frames per second because that is what the demand is for VR. It's the minimum spec for it. You have to hit 60 constant in order for VR to work. So we did the video. The video was in VR to begin with, and now it is on the channel in VR in 60 frames. Also, we will have an Eve Valkyrie video up this week. So cool.
Yeah, and I did not get sick, so that's good too. That's a
that is good, especially for as long as you played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
didn't need the screen cleaner.
No.
So.
But for the cleaners, I can ask Fastback to. I forgot what game he was playing. Cleaners or something.
That'd be a good VR game.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So. All right. Let's slide forward and move on to the next thing.
I have something.
Yes.
Quick things.
Sure.
I played Venom Dust more. I finished it.
Sweet.
It's fantastic, and I finished it, and I loved it, and I enjoyed it, and I was happy that I played it. And I was also pissed off at the same time because it's another great Xbox game that's just not getting its due.
I thought
it's just not getting the recognition that it's supposed to be getting.
I thought Phil said 1 million+ people have downloaded it already, though.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely been downloaded, but no one's talking about that game, and I think it's an important game for Xbox. Even I think, and this is something I thought about today as well. But this is a game that goes back to when Xbox was more supported by Japanese developers, and this gameplay is unique to this day. Like, I haven't played any game this gen or the in-between gen that was exactly like that game. And you get that kind of innovation from Japanese developers. And I wish Xbox fans would be more open to those new experiences like that than, the next thing that they're comfortable with. And I want those things too. I'm dying for the next Forza. Love it. And I can't stop playing Horizon 3. People say, why don't these games come to our system? Like, why isn't Final Fantasy 15 getting an X enhancement yet? Well, why would they put the effort into it when It didn't sell all that hot on the system. I mean, people, if they want these things and they want different experiences, they want something new, and that's not the same IPs. They need to support when they bring out new stuff. Same thing with Sunset Overdrive. Same thing with Quantum Break. Same thing with something else that slips my mind now. But yeah, just generally, just Halo Wars 2, another fantastic game. And you get Halo fans like, well, it's not a shooter, so I don't know if I can get into it, even though I'm the biggest Halo fan in the world and I love Halo lore. I'm just going to ignore it because it's outside of my box. And it's really frustrating when you play a great game like Phantom Dust, and you're like, wow, and the story on Phantom Dust is better. No one's talking about it. And no one, because it was kind of a cult game back then. There's not a lot of people who played it back then to carry it forward, but no one's talking about this new one. And I think they should be.
Well, so... Right, and everybody was mad when they canceled whatever the remake was.
I've played the game now, and I went back and I watched that remake footage again. I'm not disappointed. It doesn't look that great compared to... It's the same gameplay, a couple more effects. Of course, that was a rough one. That was a vertical slice, so you didn't have quite the polish on it. But it's not... after having played the game all the way through and really enjoyed it, I saw that footage again, and I didn't feel that I lost out. I didn't feel that I didn't get the gist of the game by missing out on those enhancements.
Right.
And they gave it to us for F's sake, and all the multiplayer essentials. Well, they reworked it to make it, and it's just shockingly disappointing that Xbox fans aren't supporting this kind of stuff. And I was talking with someone today about, why Japanese games developers tend to not bring things to Xbox. And I think some of it may be a little bit of nationalism on their part. You might be seeing some of that. They want to do it for the company from their nation. I'm not saying that's a primary motivator, but I think it could be a factor. Then you've got just how the things sell on it. You have to take credit as an Xbox fan if you're not expanding horizons, why they don't bring in this different stuff. And then I thought, backwards compatibility could be a kind of an in there too, because those OG Xbox games were great. Your Ninja Gaiden,
yes,
Tenchu,
Ninja Gaiden Black would be not Black. I'm sorry, Ninja Gaiden 2, which was an Xbox 360 game, would be wonderful.
Onimusha, Shenmue, like you had all these great. I mean, I'm an OG Xbox fan. I love it. Still have mine. And today's Retro Rec is going to be an OG Xbox game from a Japanese developer, actually.
And I wonder too. What's the repurchase rate on Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon? Those are two games that are backward compatible. They are Japanese game. One of them's Mistwalker.
Yeah,
remember
I'm in the middle of a playthrough on that. It's really solid. I would love to see Mistwalker.
Was solid.
New.
Absolutely,
I had not played it before.
No, but you bring up a point that I've made a long time ago that it just rings true. If Sunset Overdrive did better than it criminally did, I mean, just the fact that it even as a Games with Gold and in Game Pass, for crying out loud. The fact is that if that game did better than it did, Sunset Overdrive 2 would be somewhere in development. They wouldn't
or at least be looking at an X enhancement. We don't even have that.
No, we don't even have that. But I mean, you would think that instead of Into the Deep, I think that was the name of the game. Was that the name of the game, Frankie?
Yeah,
Song of the Deep.
Song of the Deep. Yeah, thank you.
The GameSpot.
Yeah, obviously, Insomniac was going to do Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't have, pulled out Sunset Overdrive 2 first. That is the crazy thing is that everybody talks about it and it's like it's they're Halo, Forza, and Gears. Well, yeah, because that's what everybody's buying. Nobody wants to buy Sunset Overdrive. Nobody wants to buy the Quantum Breaks. Nobody wants to buy the Halo Wars 2. And it's a shame because it would lend itself. Look, I give Square Enix credit, man. They're going to take a chance by bringing Kingdom Hearts 3 out on the Xbox. It's not the ratio. I'm calling it now. The ratio of sales PS4 to Xbox One of Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be 80-20. It's just going to be.
Well, I mean, and if in fairness, you don't have the legacy of that series on the Xbox. You don't have fans already invested in it.
But you would think that would drive it even more. Hey, for the first time on Xbox, Kingdom Hearts, come and get it.
This is one of those where I have to go the other way because I am a guy who talks Xbox Online and I do buy the exclusives. I even got around to getting Scream Ride eventually.
Yes, you did.
And I own those leaderboards. Come at me. But anyway,
I think anybody who cares about the leaderboards at Scream Ride, I hate to tell you.
Yeah, I know it. But the thing is, I'm not interested in that game. I'm just not. I don't have any history with it. I would be more interested in the Final Fantasy VII remix. If it actually turns out to be a thing. The Disney tie-in, I don't know. I'm getting old and grumpy old man gamer, and Disney just doesn't do it for me. So that's one where I'm not gonna get it. It's not exclusive either, so there's that. So it's not that's not a factor in my trying to support Xbox or anything like that. So I don't think I'll be getting that one. But I've bought these IPs coming to Xbox that weren't the Forza Halo Gears, and I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves. I love Sea of Thieves already. Crackdown, I played through Crackdown this year. I started it. I had skipped it. I started this year so I could get a feel for it, and I couldn't believe I slept on it the whole time. It's just fun, and so I'm on board for 3. But I was thinking today about that whole thing with the Japanese games and the history of Xbox, the OG. With the Japanese games was actually pretty thick. There was a lot of great Japanese games on that system, and I'd love to see it return to those days. But we're going to need, because there's a lot of good games like Ninja Gaiden Black. Everyone who's played it loves Ninja Gaiden Black, but we're not going to get that from Team Ninja like we didn't get Neo if we're not supporting the things that aren't Forza Halo Gear. So this is kind of a sermon to my Xbox followers. Play the games, check them out. It's like I said in my opinion video on it. Don't worry about the meta. Don't worry about this or that. Just play the damn games, buy them, and because Microsoft has shown us that they have a one and done mentality for this thing. They're going to give Quantum Break a go, and if we don't blow it out, then they're just going to write it off. So we have to know that, and if there's something that we might be interested in a second one, even if it's like Recore, I will buy Recore DE, even if they sell it to us, because I want a Recore 2. And I love Recore anyway, and I want to see 4K on my X with Recore. So I think we need to do that. I do think though that they should use, if they're smart, and maybe it won't matter because they already gave us Phantom Dust. But if they're smart, I think they'll give us those Japanese games in game with gold on BC compatibility on the OG. Put Ninja Gaiden Black on there. Put Shenmue, and put Onimusha if you can. If you can get these games on there and get Xbox players playing good Japanese games, they might want more Japanese games because the ones that we get sometimes really aren't the best. So when we get Japanese games on the Xbox, maybe they're not the cream of the crop. Maybe we're not really getting the things that's going to bring more people into that Japanese gaming.
Well, what about Final Fantasy? I don't know. What number are we on, Frankie?
15.
15?
15.
I always go to Frankie for that kind of stuff because I never remember that shit. But I mean, what about? I mean, that again, a few people bought it, but it wasn't. It did well on the console. We know it's going to do well on, and so that's why I think I think Kingdom Hearts is going to be I think it's going to be a marker for Square Enix is going to look at that, and I might imagine that if Kingdom Hearts 3 does well on the Xbox, that they would be a little more inclined to then get the remakes of 2.8 and all that stuff. They might say, okay, wait a minute, we've got a base here, maybe we can sell this to a larger audience over here. But they got to buy it. People have got to invest in this stuff. It is a good question. Would people on the Xbox, would Xbox gamers buy Neo? Would they buy Nier Automata? It's a legitimate question, and one that I think I definitely agree with you on. But Xbox gamers got to step up with other things too. I mean, personally, I'm with you. I think Sea of Thieves is going to be great. I don't care if it's an MMO. I don't care it. You know what? I started to think about this today because Enrique asked me, "Is it an MMO? Is it a limited appeal thing? Is that why people are kind of down on it?" And I've thought to myself, you know, there was a game on the PS2 that I spent a ton of time on, and I mean a ton. And I think I still have. It's one of the tchotchkes that I got from them. Yeah. A little compass, but the EverQuest Online Adventures for the PS2. It was the only. It basically, when Sony Online Entertainment had EverQuest, they brought out a PS2 version. And the great thing about that game was you can either play it by yourself and you can run around the world and do all your stuff and that kind of thing, or you can just walk up to a bunch of guys and say, "Hey guys, you got room for one more?" And they go, "Yeah, come on, let's go." And it could be like 20 people, and you guys could just roll through the land. And then when you're done, you say, "Hey guys, I got to run," and you just walk away. I mean, if that is where Sea of Thieves is, I'm going to enjoy that, because if I feel like playing by myself, I can do that. If I want to run up to a bunch of guys and say, "Hey, let's go plunder this island," and Leroy Jenkins, and we go, I'm okay with that. That's where I want to be. So, you know, but that game's got to sell, and if it doesn't, then we have to start asking, is Rare in trouble? You know, and this is the crap that we shouldn't have to be going through. You know, as gamers, not even as Xbox owners. I mean, you know, Sony is not immune to this too. Drive Club, even though it did well, they shut down Evolution Studios. So I mean, this stuff happens on both sides, and you know, gamers suffer for that. And gamers are going to suffer because we're not going to get another Sunset Overdrive. They're going to suffer by not getting another Quantum Break, and God forbid, Sea of Thieves doesn't do well. We might suffer by not having Rare anymore. So.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Rare though has more IPs and things it can fall back on than Lionhead did. So I don't feel quite the same danger to Rare that obviously happened with Lionhead, but yeah, basically my point is I want to see Xbox do everything it can to bring Xbox gamers good, like, quality Japanese gaming experiences to kind of whet their appetites for it, so that these developers will be more willing to take that hit on, you know, getting on our box and getting their feet in the water. And because, like I said, I do think that let's say Team Ninja did a new Ninja Gaiden. Right now, the odds of it coming to Xbox probably wouldn't be all that great. But I tell you what, if there was an announcement that, you know, Ninja Gaiden, the new Ninja Gaiden, was coming to Xbox, it would be received very goddamn well, I believe, by Xbox fans. And, you know, maybe Destructoid would have a problem with it if it were exclusive timed or something like that. Maybe they'd say, "Well, it was a bad thing." But you know, I just think that if that were to start happening, people would get into that, you know, type of play, and that could feed on itself again, and we could have those days like we had on the OG. Because those of us who played on the OG remember that there was a lot of good Japanese gaming on it.
Yeah, well, I would add that if we were going to get a new Ninja Gaiden, I don't know if I'd want it without Itagaki. I mean, Sigma was not the same.
True, but I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't be done.
True. You know, it's kind of how I feel with Crackdown and David Jones. You know, you got to have the guy. You have to have the brainchild of the game behind it. So I'm good with backward compatibility with it. But I get what you're saying. Where is a new Tenchu? Although Neo kind of is supposed to fill that void. But so yeah. Anybody else? Juan and I kind of.
I have one other short thing.
Yeah.
What Remains of Edith Finch? It's an amazing game. You have to be into the quote-unquote walking simulator, and I don't really care for that name for the genre, but I can't think of something better off the top of my head right now. But yeah, it's pretty fantastic. It tells a story that I felt was told really well. It's kind of, I liken it to watching an episode of Amazing Stories. You get these kind of vignettes that are tied together, and it's kind of dark. It's got some serious darkness to it, and it's definitely worthwhile. Even at the full 20, if you're not shy about it, I would recommend it on the full 20. I didn't have any regrets, even though it's not long. I would even do it again just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But definitely recommend What Remains of Edith Finch.
All right. All right. Anybody else on anything we were just talking about? Like I said, I know we kind of monopolized that last topic, but anybody have anything they want to add on the Japanese game thing?
I don't know. I haven't played that many Japanese games. Never was too interested in them. But yeah, played Final Fantasy 15 as well as now I forgot the PlayStation 4 game. I did a video. No, I did a video. It's older than that. I forgot the title.
You put it on the chat. Is it up on the channel?
Yeah, it's up on the channel.
All right, I'll look while we're.
Come out last year.
Yeah.
Last Guardian.
Is it?
No.
Bit of Zero in it. Yakuza 0.
Oh yeah.
That was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that, but I've never played any of the Ninja Gaiden ones or any other.
See, I would think
this title. So I don't know. They don't seem to appeal too much to me. There might be some interesting ones in there, but
I would think as much as people like Grand Theft Auto, that Yakuza would do well on that. But Sega's always that's always been a PlayStation franchise for Sega. I mean, that's there hasn't been a Yakuza on Xbox. That's just kind of been one of their franchises. So, all right. Let's do this then. Let's rapid fire through a couple things because I definitely want to get to the retro rec. And I know we started late, but I don't want to keep you guys late. So, very, very quickly, I want to run down the NPD list of software. We don't give a rat's ass about the console sales, but software is always very, very interesting. And so this month, no different.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with that game?
It is the fourth. Let this sink in. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the fourth best selling game of 2017.
Yeah. It's either sad or maybe playing computer games, especially Grand Theft Auto 5, makes you dumb. So you forget you already have it.
Yeah.
So next month you go out and buy the next copy. I don't know what's going on with that game. And of course number 17 is Minecraft. That game. So my only guess is, and I think I saw somebody else say this on Twitter, and it kind of makes sense. The people who are buying new consoles are buying Grand Theft Auto 5. It's like okay. They just go to the register with it, and then that's how they get it.
But didn't they have it on the other consoles? Because it was huge on those, right?
I mean, I had it on the 360, and I have it on the Xbox One.
Yes, I have to admit,
so
I also double dipped. Yes, I did as well. I'm not happy about it.
You're the problem.
I am.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Good.
I still don't see how, even if the world is me and we've all done it, how it's still on the charts.
Because I haven't bought it yet.
Automatically possible.
I haven't bought it yet. So one day I'll be part of those software sales.
No, you won't. Yeah. You're never gonna buy it. Don't buy it if you haven't bought it by now.
If it's don't buy that. Yeah, well, remember what I said about Doom. Doom got down to $20 and I bought it. So it's
Doom is worth buying.
But Doom's good.
This is true. Doom was well worth. Doom is my 2017 game of the year. That's all I'm gonna say.
It took him that long, but it's worth it.
Right. All right. So
I have theories.
Running down this list. Go ahead, Frankie.
Grand Theft Auto is that game that kids keep getting a hold of. Their parents confiscate it, so they come up with money to give someone else so that they get another copy of the game. That's how this cycle goes.
It could be.
Somebody buys it at GameStop and trades it in and gets 60% and then goes and buys it again.
Yep, I like it.
By the way, I missed you for that conversation, Frankie. I missed you when we had that topic. Anyway, the Anchorman says Rockstar must be rebuying their stock, kind of like a football team that rebuys their tickets for the home game.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, just running down the rest of this list, not terrible surprises. Tekken 7 topping the charts. Kind of figured that would happen. Injustice 2 hanging on. Crash Bandicoot coming in at number 4, and that has been lighting up the European charts too. The UK charts, I think it debuted at number 1 for the weekly chart track, and then stayed there. So good on Crash. One of the couple of there's only a couple of exclusives in the top 10. One of them is ARMS for the Switch. Anybody here get ARMS?
No.
No.
Nope.
All right.
No interest.
All right. So it wasn't anybody on this panel contributing. Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Sorry for that one fan who comes by, but yeah, no, I didn't get it.
So Zelda's still kicking. Mario Kart 8 is still kicking. Overwatch is still kicking. NBA 2K17.
That's one game that I don't have, Overwatch.
That's still a great game.
I don't
Still
know.
a great
Can't
game.
tell.
I got to get back
Just
to
play
it.
Paladins. Skip Overwatch. Just play Paladins.
What about Gigantic? Is that any good?
You know what? I played Gigantic once. It's more MOBA than Overwatch for me, so it was more like controlling minions and stuff like that. I might
played
get back
it
to it,
so long time ago. I think it was still a closed beta at that point.
Yeah, it's free to play, so
it's free to play, but it wasn't my forte per se.
Yeah,
I might want to give it another try. I don't know.
Maybe I'll give it another try.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn rounding out that top 10, very good. And then we get to the bottom 10, and look, there are still some impressive things that even in the bottom 10 from 10 to 20. If we really look at it, Ghost Recon obviously, Black Ops 3, Call of Duty always, Rainbow Six Siege is still kicking it. That and there's been a little bit of DLC and stuff, but people are still buying that game. People are still buying Infinite Warfare, Battlefield 1, Minecraft, Elder Scrolls Morrowind. It's good to see that get some play. FIFA, of course, and Forza Horizon 3 rounding out that top 20. It's nice to see Forza Horizon 3 sitting on some sort of NPD, because it's just, racing games just have such a hard time here. So it's good to see. It's good to see all that. So obviously with with ARMS, Zelda, and Mario Kart 8, there are no digital sales to count, and Overwatch is not counting sales from the Blizzard app. So there you have it. There's our top 20 NPD. All right.
Yep, and Forza Horizon 3 is still there because it's still the most perfect game on that list. The best. Well, no, I say it's a tie. It's a tie between Forza Horizon 3 and Mario Kart. Those two games are the best at what they attempt to do and have least faults. Like, those two games do what they try to do better than any other game out there.
I can agree with that. And I'm hoping, man, I hope that the Hot Wheels DLC is doing well, because that is such a great
very fun.
DLC. Such a great DLC. That has to be.
I have the game again, by the way. So.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah. I saw the pic.
We keep saying it, and it's my fault. I take responsibility for it. So we should, as soon as my basement is done, I'm ready to get back to doing some streaming and stuff. And we definitely need to co-stream that Hot Wheels, because we gotta get Super Cooper. We gotta get the team, bruh. We gotta get all the team, bruh. So I'm
broccoli.
Yeah, I'm
broccoli.
I'm happy to see it. I'm hoping that Hot Wheels DLC is doing well, because to me, pound for pound, that is probably some of the best racing game DLC ever created. That's just my opinion. So better than Storm Island, better than Blizzard Mountain, and those were great. But that Hot Wheels DLC was just straight fire. So there's Super Cooper. What's up, Brett? So, all right. Real quick. I want everybody's opinion on this, because this is just straight up out of mind nuts. So, if you want to, so somebody please.
Is this a VR setup?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So, look, if anybody needs any further evidence that Nintendo has absolutely no interest in true online play, this has got to be your proof. The fact that in order to voice chat with somebody playing Splatoon or Mario Kart or whatever.
No, it's just Splatoon.
Wait, what?
This only works with Splatoon.
Right.
How do you?
I also heard some other amazing
stop.
things about this.
How do you chat? How do you chat with other people in Mario Kart?
People Discord.
Discord or
what?
Xbox Live.
Yeah, every other service that's not this. This app literally only works with Splatoon.
Are you? No,
I'm
come on.
dead serious.
There's worse things about it too.
This was not a setup.
Oh my god! You have to have the app open. Your phone can't go to sleep or lock.
Yep.
I mean,
you can't get any text messages, any notifications, any phone calls.
Come on!
I remember when I would have to, I was playing, I don't know, Motor City Online or something over my dial-up connection on my PC, and my mom would get a call and take me offline. And that's what these gamers in 2017 now have to deal with. And I swear to God, it was 89 for me.
Oh my God. By the way, what's up, Black Metal Gamer? It's my boy right there. We're getting BMG on our podcast one night because we're going to start talking retro, and he was all about that. I want to get him because you guys got to meet this guy for real. Anyway, I mean,
I'm hungry now.
I don't even know what to say. Look, I'm telling you, Nintendo had no. This is why your friend code is 17,000 digits. Nintendo had no interest in online. This has got to be the most shoehorned online ever created because they don't care. They didn't want it. What they wanted was you sitting on the rooftop of your millennial apartment with all the rest of the yuppie, the hipster millennials playing next to each other, or actually taking a break and not actually meeting your boys out on the actual basketball court to play video basketball. This is what they wanted.
What they wanted was you to be playing squid paintball with all your friends and stop and gather around to do it on your Wii, your Switch, I should say.
All right, Worry says the Morse code adapter next year is awesome.
Pretty much. I got to give him points for that.
The Morse code
Joke of the night, ladies. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh my goodness. Get this message over to Johnny. Okay.
Beep, 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 beep.
I'm sorry, my camera. Hang on, Mike. So I figured this out. My webcam breaks up on me if I have an image. So what you didn't see was me holding my virtual pigeon and throwing him in the air. So anyway,
it's beautiful.
Reminds me of Battlefield 1.
That is okay.
It's like Nintendo throwing the virtual console behind them because
right.
It's Reggie Philomese looking at it going, "What's wrong with you?"
I used to say it that way too, but it's Reggie Fils-Aimé.
My bad.
You're right.
It's Reggie.
You knock it off, Joe Tune. I don't want to hear it.
It's Reggie Joe Tune is what it is.
Yeah, Joe Tune and Uncharted.
Right,
Uncharted.
So and of course, if Worrywart was actually on the podcast and heard me say Konami, he would melt down. So the Black Metal Gamer says, "F the ad. I want a can with string chat."
Yeah, I'll bring the camera.
Oh my God, this is so horrible. Okay,
it's so bad. Has anyone seen Eddie? What's his name? The comedian Eddie Izzard.
Yes, I remember Eddie Izzard.
Did you ever see his thing about America and the metric system?
I have seen that skit. I don't remember all of it, but I have seen it.
He's talking about, as Americans, you were like, you had the metric system for a week. You were like, no, and just tossed it. And that's how they are. That's how Nintendo is with online stuff. They're just like,
yeah. Here's your phone.
Right. Off.
All right. Really, really, really quick. Just for those who got the email, welcome to the Atari box. It actually will come in either wood paneling or red, because that makes totally sense. So
I have the wood. Apparently,
it's going to play both retro games and new games, but they didn't exactly say what those games were. So
they've reskinned the Ouya.
The Ouya.
Yeah, that thing. Whatever it was called. The Wii. What was it called?
What was it called?
The Android thing.
Yeah, the Ouya.
I don't think I ever said it out loud before, but yeah, that's a reskin.
You regret it? Do you just feel this pit of sickness now growing?
It's like those who got the N-gauge.
I have wood.
Should be the slogan. Worry's bringing the heat tonight.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next thing. I mean, does anybody care?
I have
At this moment, no.
I have my 2600 in those games. Other than historical value, I mean, I love them, but I don't think modern gamers love 2600 games.
If they bring 5200 and 7800 games, I'll be okay. I'm good with that. Those were good. I
mean, they're magic. These games. This is 4 kilobytes. 4 kilobytes of memory for Dig Dug. That's amazing. There's 128 bits of RAM in the system, and you can play a game on it.
Well, that's perfect for Frankie's internet.
So
that's true.
So I mean, the 2600 is magic, and it's nostalgia too of my childhood. But I just don't. I just think anyone who's not 40 would see the square blips and bloops and be like, no.
Nah, if you bring me the 5200 or 7800 stuff, you'll be okay. All right.
You get the collections too, right? They have 2 collections that have 50 games on them.
Yeah, they're
not the same without the stick, dude.
It's true. I know. Trust me, I know. I've had a 5200 and a 7800 over time. So
I had one that had the ball top, and the button was on the top.
Oh,
of
the
ball.
trackball.
Yep. No. It was a joystick, but it had a ball top on it. It was like a red ball
on the side.
It's so you could grip it, so you could, play it like this.
I'm so confused right now.
Well, it's because you're young.
That plastic is older than you.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next week in gaming with HTK. It's the last thing before the retro rec.
All right, let's.
Had something to say too.
So these are the games that are coming out this coming week.
This coming week on the 25th, we have A Healer Only Lives Twice on PS4 and PC. Active Soccer 2DX on the Xbox, PS4, Vita. Evan Colony, Xbox, PS4, PC. Circuit Breakers, Xbox, PS4. Ooh, Fable Fortune, Xbox, PC.
Come on.
I don't know. I see Fable and I get excited, but then I don't think it's anything.
This is the card game.
I like card games.
It's like
Juan's all about this one.
Yep, I'm on it.
Okay, well, I'm glad.
Stream it, please.
Stream it. Fortnite for Xbox, PS4, PC. Didn't it already come out for Xbox?
Yes.
It's
early access. So if you
both.
pre-ordered it, you could play it on Friday, and its actual technical releases on Tuesday.
Which is free to play.
It'll be free to play for good next year. It's in early access. Yeah. Expensive early access.
But I believe it's an early access.
Well, but you get like two extra codes, right, for friends?
Probably not.
I believe. Yeah, I thought there was something like that. Anyone in the chat can back me up on that?
I don't bother.
But besides that, yeah. And then Heroes of the Seven Seas for PSVR. I have no idea what it is about, but I'll check it out because it's PSVR. So if it's interesting enough, then we'll stream that. Infinite Mini Golf. Xbox, PS4, and Switch. So this is by the makers of the Pinball FX, isn't it?
Yeah, Zen Studios.
I did like Pinball FX a lot.
Yeah, me too.
But I think I'd just stick with Power Star.
Power Star was not bad.
No, me and my wife love that game. She beats my ass at it all the time.
Yeah. So
I think it's actually VR compatible too.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes. Can be interesting. I wish the pinball tables are VR compatible, or they have, or is it specific ones?
They have.
And that'd be great.
They have a couple that are they reworked for VR settings. So there's the table, but then there's like sharks and stuff swimming past your face. It's really weird. The other cool thing, actually, before you move on about the golf game, is I think any course that you make on any system is available to everybody who has the game. So if you design something on your Switch, you can download it on your Xbox, your PS4. Whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's neat. It's neat. Lost Grimoire Stolen Kingdom for the PS4. And we have some Neo DLC coming out, Defiant Honor. So for the Neo folks. I have not played that game. Have you, Frankie?
I have not.
Some people really love that game, but I don't know. I don't think it's really for me.
If you like Dark Souls, it's a really good one of those, I'm told.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not playing
Dark Souls. I still have to go past the first boss.
Remember my beta video, my alpha and beta videos. The Mike dies a lot videos.
Part 2.
Mike dies a lot again. Mike dies harder.
Mike's still dead. Let's see. Pressure Overdrive, Xbox, PS4, and PC. Pyre for the PS4 and PC. Smashbox Arena for PSVR. All those PSVR games, so I'm definitely curious what they are and checking those out. Super Cloud Build for Xbox, PS4, PC, and Tiny Tracks also for PSVR. Then one day later, the 26th, which I guess is Wednesday, we have Thesis for the PSVR. We also have Unbox Newbies Adventure for Xbox and PS4, and Vostok Incorporated PS4. And on Thursday, we have Leaving Lindo, PS4 and PC. And Friday, we have Constructor for Xbox, PS4, Switch, PC, and Namco Museum for the Switch. I might be interested in Namco Museum. Is it digital only, or is it also on physical?
I think it's digital only. It's $30.
Yeah.
I love those.
Namco
Museum is so cool.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. I'm not sure if $30 is a little on the pricey side.
Pricey for those.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe I'll wait for a sale.
Nice.
So yeah,
you missed the biggest release this week.
No.
On Friday, Sundered is coming out.
Oh yes, from the makers of Jotun.
Yes.
Thunder
Friday release on Thunder Lotus.
From the makers of Jotun comes Sundered.
Yes. I can't wait to play that. I'm really excited.
That's going to be a great game because you guys know. I mean, I love.
What platforms are that?
PS4 and PC.
How come it wasn't on the PS4 list? Dang. Must have either missed it.
You gotta look at the one that I sent you. The PlayStation
I did.
blog. It's on there.
I did. Is it?
It's on there. Yeah.
Maybe I had a skipping issue. Who knows?
It's all right.
It's called PSVR. I don't care about anything else.
That's true. Yeah, it's not a VR game, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else is meh.
All right. So we're gonna. It's 10:48. I wanna get to the rec and then finish up. Just for people who are looking at the currently looking at the headlines that we're going to move the Destiny Beta 2 talk to next week because they have extended the beta to Tuesday. So that'll give the rest of us who haven't had a chance to look at it. I do want to look at it for purposes of talking about it on a podcast. So I will check out the beta and I'll be able to give some impressions of it with Peter and Frankie. Have you played it?
No, I deliberately didn't want to because I didn't want to play any story stuff or the strike. I'd rather just play it when the full game's out.
Fair enough.
I wanted to play the multiplayer because I figured trying that out, who cares? But you have to play everything else to get to it. So I was like,
you have to play that first story.
All right.
Yeah.
Nate, Juan, did you guys do any of the beta?
Yeah, I mean, it felt more of the same to me.
For Destiny?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. So next week, Juan and Nathan, Peter, and I can. If you guys still don't play the beta, that's fine. I'm going to get a little bit of the beta in, and we can talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Also, next week, Nathan is going to give us some rundown. We're going to start giving him a little something to do. So to give Nate a little background on Nathan, Nathan gets to go watch movies a lot, and that's cool. So he was all up.
That's cool.
Yes, he was all up on all the Comic-Con trailers and stuff like that. Which, by the way, there were some kick-ass trailers that came out from Comic-Con. That Thor Ragnarok was that looks like probably one of the best Thor movies I think they're going to come up with. Somebody leaked an Infinity Wars trailer. We got to see some Justice League stuff, and it sounds like, just for me, they're going to reboot the entire DC universe with the Flash movie. So
there you go.
Yeah,
they're calling it the most exciting trailer,
which was
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, he told you he'd want that one. Yeah.
Right. And not just that, but Ready Player One, which had a lot of different game references. Of course, it's a about that. So next week, we'll dive into some. We'll start diving into some movie stuff too, some Marvel, some DC, some extra stuff, and we'll see how that goes and see if the people like that. All right, but we're gonna go now to what
next week. We should talk about Casey.
Yes.
Something about BioWare.
Casey Hudson going to BioWare. Yes.
Since I'm not going to be here next week, I just want to mention it now. But Wolf Among Us Season 2.
Yes, Wolf. Yeah, Telltale
finally.
came. Man, Telltale came with the heat.
Finally.
So
The
that video
final
too.
Walking Dead. The final one.
That video too, where they were reading the mean tweets, was so funny. So.
Did you all see the actor who plays Gollum read the Trump tweet?
Yeah, that was epic.
Andy Serkis?
That was, yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, whatever your political stance is, it was pretty. He nailed it.
All right, now on to.
I don't know what this is. What are we doing now?
A new feature. It's okay.
Right. Yes.
Isn't it break everything?
Or is it an old feature? I'm so confused. I still love the music. Mike, did your band come up with this?
No.
What is Warrior doing tonight? I mean...
Yeah.
We need another one of those. Like I say
I
that
would take
every
one.
week.
Yeah, no, I'd take one for sure. But I want it to be more like the first one and less like the third one.
Yes, agreed. All right, Juan's retro recommendation.
It is that time.
It is that time.
So today we have one that's near and dear to my heart, an original Xbox classic, and like I was saying, a Japanese game. And again, this is back when Xbox was taking those risks, doing crazy stuff, and when you'll see part of why this is crazy in the video. Trying something a little different with this video too. I'm kind of mildly excited about. So we can go ahead and get started.
Right? From Software, right?
No, Nude Maker.
Right. All right, here we go.
Nude Maker.
All right,
Right.
I'm shutting up
Giggity.
now.
So we'll roll it, and Steel Battalion, Xbox, November 2002 in North America, developed by Capcom and Nude Maker. Capcom, as we all know, huge developer, founded in 1979, famous for Street Fighter, Mega Man, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Lost Planet, Dead Rising, considered by some to be the last major publisher committed to 2D gaming. The Nude Maker, less known, founded in 2002, comprised mostly of former employees of Human Entertainment, and if you've been paying attention to the Retro Rec, you know Human Entertainment was behind Andretti World GP, the NES racing simulator that I played a few weeks back. They had about 10 employees as of 2010, so it's kind of impressive they got this kind of thing done. It's a single-player mech combat simulator, which is pretty ambitious for a console in 2002. The player controls vertical tanks, is what they're called, as part of the Panzer Battalion. It's controlled with a large custom controller. It's got 2 sticks, a gear lever, and 40 or so buttons, kind of infamous. It has a 3-pedal floor unit. Going through the mission selection screen here, you get your radio call signs, you get the mission, and you'll get the briefing, and I'll let that play as I continue talking about the controls. But the controls, you have the throttle, the brake, and the sidestep are pedals. You have 5 forward gears and 1 reverse. The left stick rotates your torso left and right, or it moves the legs actually, left and right, and it has a thumbstick on the top of it for your look control, so you can turn left and look right. The right stick is your arms, and that's fully directional as opposed to just left and right. On the screen, you can see you pick your outfit on the mech. They're customizable with various weapon loads, and there are about, I want to say there's between 12 or 15 chassis. I can't remember off the top of my head. You can pick a soundtrack to the mission once you've unlocked the boombox piece of gear. The right stick controls your arms and is used for aiming your weapons. It has your primary and secondary firing buttons. And then there's many 40 or so buttons on the controller itself for things like the starting up process, HUD controls, fire extinguisher, windshield washers, because your windshield will get dirty, magazine changes, a radio frequency selector dial, radio preset buttons, night vision, and an eject button with a plastic safety cover you have to flip up, and I kind of love that. The eject is important because if you die, if you don't get out of the mech, you lose your save. It wipes the save and it's permadeath, and you start over, which is awesome. So after the loading screen, you get a startup sequence with the mech, and I kind of switched it up so you can see the controller in the video here. And you hit the cockpit button, and it closes the cockpit. Then there's the ignition button there, or the startup. System will boot up. There's 5 switches toggle to engage, and you'll toggle up these systems, and it'll start coming to life. And then when all the pieces are fired up right, you hit that flashing red ignition button to start the mech up. And that'll start your whole process. Now, let's say you overheat the mech and the OS shuts down. You actually have to go through that process to start it back up again in a hurry in the middle of gameplay. In the second game, you could actually purposely come to a nearly shut down state to go kind of stealth and spring to life and ambush somebody. So, as you can see, the visuals are, they're kind of dated, a little ambitious for the hardware maybe, but you have a lot of information on the screen. You have your view, you have your HUD map on the top, you have a selectable camera in the bottom middle, you have your gear shift indicator, your tachometer, your weapons loadout, and it's just a lot it's not a noob friendly game. It takes a lot of getting used to. We just took down an enemy VT there with our automatic rifle. Not the heaviest caliber, but fires 5 shots per pull, which is a really nice thing. As you're playing, as you're driving, if you try to make a turn too fast, the mech will lose its balance, and you have to try to correct that balance with the sidestep pedal, which you would generally use if you wanted to dodge. And I think at some point I do a couple sidesteps of incoming fire to kind of show off that. But actually driving the mech, mobility, maneuvering, it's all key to the game. If you stumble, you have to do you have to get yourself back up, wash off your windshield usually, and get back in the fight. There's 3 weight classes for the VTs. The one in this game, I'm playing a light VT, one of the more mobile ones, and heavier VTs can carry more armor, heavier weapons. Later versions of later VTs in the game have a more advanced operating system that gives you night vision and enhanced tracking and better weaponry. Where our mission in this one is to climb to the top of this hill and clear these mechs that were these VTs that were shelling the convoy that we were riding in before we started. Almost tipped over right there, but managed to save it. And we're going to engage these mechs up here. There's all kinds of missions in the game. There's assault missions, search and destroy, capturing supplies, hostage rescue, and the difficulty ramps up really quick. I just took a hit there. You can see the mark on the windshield. I got dirty in the hit, so eventually I'll wash it. But trading fire with a couple of mechs here. There's a couple off to the left too. There goes that light one. These 2 are medium, so I need to avoid their fire pretty adroitly. They'll mess me up. Like I said, high degree of learning curve, a big manual, a lot of getting used to it, but it's kind of an epic thing when you get through the whole plot, the whole storyline, and with your save intact, and it's totally worth doing in my opinion. The development called for, it was kind of a backwards game. Originally when they announced it, it was going to be product focused, which meant that they were going to create the peripheral and then design the game around it. Originally it was actually planned for the PS2, but when the Xbox became available, it shifted over to take advantage of the greater power of the Xbox. Online play was taken out of the original game because it was considered too ambitious, and so the sequel did have online once this had sold, but unfortunately it was online only. And with the small numbers of gamers out there who picked up one of these, because they were about $200, it was hard to find matchmaking outside of matches with Koreans. And I don't dislike Koreans, but it's difficult sometimes with the language barrier or them just generally shooting anyone who's American on sight. So the second game, unfortunately, had that going for it, but it was still a great mech game, but it had those problems. This game was received generally well, but it wasn't wildly profitable. It has an 83 on Meta, actually. Eurogamer gave it a 6 of 10. Game Informer gave it a 9.5 of 10. IGN reviewed it, and they joked that the mech warrior won't let us in the cockpit, Steel Battalion won't let us out. It also joked that the $200 price was for the controller, and it came with a free game. The limited quantities they made sold out really fast, making a collector's piece. A second edition was released a little later, also in limited quantities, and it was markedly different from the first by having blue buttons on the controller instead of green. That's how you can tell if you've got the more rare first edition. Mine's the second. I got mine on eBay some time ago, some number of years ago, for a couple $100. Right now it goes on eBay for roughly anywhere between $300 and $500, depending on condition. I actually saw one listed on eBay that was uncirculated, so it was in the original shipping crate and hadn't been opened to that degree, which may be one of the most rare things I've seen, and it was $125,000 asking for it, so wow, that's kind of crazy. Wow. But free shipping. Ooh. Right. Yeah. Amazon had about 12 of them between 500 and 700 and various things. But it's kind of a historic game. It's a really ambitious thing, and again, it's back when Xbox would do those kind of crazy things and sell a game with a $200 controller that you can only play with that game. And you just don't see anybody taking risks like that anymore. So that is why it is one of my my favorite games in my retro collection, and this week's retro recommendation.
That's great, man, and that controller, good lord! So that I don't think I'd ever seen a controller before, and to watch it light up and that kind of stuff was really cool.
Yeah, no, it's really kind of fun because it'll sit across my armrest, and it's all right here, and you just you feel like you're immersed, and you just got all the things to play with and all the shiny lights and all that is fantastic.
Nice. All right. Neat. Cool. And that is this week's Juan's retro recommendation. Thank you, as always. And by the way, we have started putting up the first set of retro recommendations on the channel for those who want to go back and see them, that don't want to go filing back through the individual podcasts. Right now, the first one's up. The second one will be up this week as well. So, yes, that and the Pit Boy watch, Mike and I am all set. Oh, my God. I got to go back and find the podcast where Worry and I think Enrique were talking about that particular Pit Boy watch when it was coming out in Fallout 4. Holy crap, man. He said something about taking it to the club and having it on his arm with a girl, trying to hit on a girl. And I swear to God, we almost had to stop the podcast. I could not compose myself after it. So, all right. So that is the retro rec for this week. And with that, unless there are any other big things to talk about that absolutely have to be discussed, I think we can successfully call this one in the books. Like I said, we'll push a couple things to next week just for the interest of time, because I know it is after 11, and I know Juan has to get up, so do not want to keep everybody too late. So before we go, anybody got anything else they would like to say? Anything else they'd like to bring up?
Mass Effect Andromeda is just kind of okay so far.
Yeah, it's a vault game for me.
Yeah.
I was confused at first because a lot of people weren't talking about it when it came out, and now that I'm like 10 hours in, I kind of see why. I mean, combat's really cool, but the story is just kind of, I don't know, generic for a Mass Effect game.
I think I like it myself, except that I think it could have been something other than a Mass Effect game. I think that gameplay, and it was a different skin, would not have had the hate that it had, because it doesn't really live up to the Shepard trilogy.
No.
I mean, it couldn't.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just took on too much with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm liking it so far. It's just the story's really
Seem to do better.
The play is nice though.
Seem to do better than Prey. Prey dropped off the face of the world.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah,
kind
of a shame. Yeah, it's a shame because Prey has one of the best endings of the year so far.
Yeah. Nathan, anything else going on?
I mean, we went over the 3 Tall Tales, like, so.
I know.
And Batman is next month, so.
Yeah,
Pretty
2
exciting.
weeks from now.
All right, so next week we'll also talk about Telltale and that kind of stuff because Wolf Among Us 2 and stuff like that. We'll get into that.
Apparently, he's telling me to go to the restroom. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Sorry that we started late again, and if we didn't start late, we might have been able to get to a couple of extra things. So next week we will push a couple things up, and chat room guys, as always, you guys are fantastic. It's good to see. It's good to see our chat room stays really nice and respectful to each other. And Worry Ward, it's great to see you in there tonight. Man, it really is. And to our regulars, Life is Strange 2, as Super Cooper says, that's next month. And I'm hoping, I haven't decided if I'm going yet, but I still have a passing interest in going to that Coleco Expo up in New Jersey on August 6 and 7. I might take the oldest boy up on Sunday and show him what retro gaming is. So... anybody who wants to go
get him started young.
Yeah, anybody who wants to go on a road trip, I might be headed to Jersey. So, all right. Thank you, chat room. Thank you, everybody who is watching live. If you are not watching live, do not forget that we are on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come be part of our chat room. You guys can see what great stuff that we have to talk about and the great people that you can meet in our chat room. If you would please click that like button for us, leave a comment, let us know how we're doing. We typically will take all feedback, and subscribe. You know, we're close to 900. I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Maybe we can get some help with that. If you are already subscribed to the Next Level Gaming Podcast, thank you very much, and to the channel, thank you very much. Tell a friend. Don't forget to check out all of our other great content from Juan, from Peter. One day myself, if I can get back into doing some streaming after life slows down. But we have some fantastic stuff that's up on the channel for you guys to see. And then to my wonderful team, thank you guys so much. And Frankie, welcome back.
Thanks.
Woo woo.
By the way, you guys can check out shortpause.com. We usually get every Friday the weekly rewind, so pick something off of NLG to feature on the site. So Peter's VR stuff is up there right now, so if you don't check it out on the channel, happen across it on our site.
But otherwise, too, the other stuff that's on Short Pause is fantastic. Sometimes I have to remind Frankie what the music is at the beginning, but it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, you don't even watch the Autumn Leaves. What's that? It's a song.
That's all I never hear it
to our friends Brent, Ben, and Frankie, of course, is part of Short Pause, and the other Ben, and they're great guys. We love them, and we're still due for another Supercast. So we are. All right. Thank you guys so much. Everybody have a great week. We will see you next Sunday night. Play on, gamers.
Game on. And goes Rico. Hey.
Hashtag Commander Jackson and KI.
Oh,
I want to see it.
Oh,
I just want another season.
Yeah, give me another season and bring me Terry Crews and KI is what I want.
His special move is his pecs.
Right. Oh. It'd be perfect.
I went with this because I still haven't updated the back end video to say mixer, so screw it.
One day.
My basement will be done in a couple weeks.